What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are here checking out the latest update for the Sims 4 base game. I was really surprised when I saw what was included with this update because there are some pretty damn cool features. Some features, in fact, that I almost expected to be exclusive to the brand new game pack coming out in like 2 days, which is obviously werewolves. We'll dive more into that in just a split second, but if you aren't interested in hanging out with me and reading through the patch notes, I'm pretty positive that I've included timestamps down in the bottom bar so that you guys can kind of skip through the topics that pique your interest. But if you guys do want to hang out with me, we are going to dive straight on into lunar cycles. Were your Sims set in their nocturnal ways? The moon now has phases within a lunar cycle. From now on, you'll notice that the moon in the sky changes over time, which affects how much light is given off at night in almost every neighborhood across all packs. This excludes locations that may not make sense, like the Magic Realm. In total, there are 8 phases: new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, and waning crescent. With default settings, the moon will change each night, but you can change the length of the phases in the environment section of game options. If you want, you can also make a phase permanent or turn off moon effects. Yes, the moon phase will affect your sim. Each phase grants a special gameplay boost that can be viewed by hovering over the moon icon at the bottom center of the screen. This information will also display the current phase. Are you curious when the next full moon is coming around? The calendar has also been updated to display upcoming moon phases based on the previously mentioned phase length settings. Occult Sims will find the moon phase now plays an extra role in how their powers behave. During a certain moon phases, mermaids have less hydration loss, vampires recharge power slower, spellcasters cast spells more successfully, and aliens receive a special moodlet while moonbathing, which is also now a thing for all Sims teen and older. There are also some particularly new cute interactions for toddlers. They have some special questions that they can ask during each phase, and they can also say goodnight to the moon. This will grant them special moon dreams, which may change depending on the particular moon phase that night. Prepare for the cuteness overload. Sims are now also able to moon gaze through the observatory or the small telescope. There's a lot to digest here in this text, so I'm not going to skim through it all, but I am going to get down to the juicy part that says, yes, they're finally here. Tiny, portable, and ready to fulfill your logic dreams. This patch includes one small telescope, and the Sims 4 Werewolves game pack will add a second pack-specific one. Most of the interactions that were available on the observatory are also available on the small telescope, but for understandable reasons, you cannot woohoo inside it, and it isn't as quite technically advanced as the observatory. Using the small telescope will not reward prints. You may, at various times of the day and night, spy on the neighborhood, observe the sky, search for the truth, stargaze, track satellite, spy on apartments. Obviously, this is, specific for the city living expansion. Important warning, viewing the night sky can be dangerous work. If your sim notices that something is coming straight for them, get inside quickly. Death by meteorite is now a thing. So are meteorite ghosts. Who knew? Observatory. Small telescopes aren't the only stargazing item to get some attention. Remember the base game Observatory? Yes, the big one. How could you forget about the story above? Well, you can now discover 10 new framed moon prints when moon gazing with it. They're very pretty, and I hear one might show what Sixum looks like from space. CAS updates. We added a new beard. To address feedback on the rainbow base game wedding dress variants we released with My Wedding Stories, we added some new variants that are ombre and faded to 2 of the dresses. We heard that you wanted the My Wedding Stories wedding hijab without the veil, so now you have a new hijab headpiece in the base game. In build mode, you will now find the Brick Elite Caution wallpaper, which complements the existing Brick Elite wallpaper. There are also 2 new terrain paints. One has a lot of tiny rocks that are very cute, and the other is pine duff. Both look fantastic in Moonwood Mill, if we do say so ourselves. Use them wherever you like though. There's also been various improvements to scenarios, and one little miscellaneous thing that I think is very important to mention. Wolfsbane has been brought to the base game. You may acquire it through cheats or random plant awards, but this will allow it to be found in the worlds of both The Sims 4 Werewolves as well as The Sims 4 Vampires. We are formally finally excited to announce recalculating splines is back as a loading tip. Okay, so here we are in Create a Sim, and the first thing I wanted to check out is the curly beard. Let it be known, I've been wanting a beard like this for a very long time, so I'm super duper excited to see that we officially have one in a game. Now, I don't mean to like plug my own CC or anything, but I did want to share with you guys something that I converted. Basically, you know, like the little like 5 o'clock shadow that we have in game, I made it an accessory so that it adds a little shadow and a little definition to the beards. And then obviously there's a bunch of different like swatches and stuff, so you can kind of switch up the intensity. But I really liked how it looked with this beard in particular. I think it's such a great addition. Just for comparison purposes, here is the hijab with the veil from My Wedding Stories, and here is the base game hijab with the veil removed. All of the swatches are exactly the same so that you can enjoy the hijab without the veil, even if you wanted to like cross this over into the My Wedding Stories, or even if you wanted to use it in base game. There's a lot of color options in here for you to play around with. We all remember this beauty when we received it in the base game in prep for My Wedding Stories. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I definitely didn't hate it as much as everybody else did. I feel like a lot of people were just comparing it to like those little parachute things that we used to do in elementary. Maybe when I was in elementary. I don't know what they do these days. However, there was a bunch of other like simmers out there doing like pastel-y conversions, and some even with glitter. So I definitely think they took inspiration from that, and to be honest with you, I really like these. I think they're super duper pretty. I'm not the biggest fan of this one, but maybe your sim is a little more quirky. Maybe your sim is just a little more bold. This is still a really good option, but I am obviously so happy that they've included some other ones as well. Okay, so we're finally in game, and the very first thing that I wanted to share with you was the newest addition to the UI, which is the current lunar phase. So next to the timestamp, once you hover over the moon, you will now be presented with whatever phase the moon is in. So for instance, tonight it is a new moon, which essentially means it's like blackout, I guess, because everything definitely seems to be a little bit darker, and just from what I'm seeing, there doesn't appear to be a single moon in sight. Now, if you wanted to get like a little sneak peek preview of the next, lunar phase or whatever, all you need to do is just go to your calendar, and there you'll be able to find the next lunar phase. So remember, there's going to be 8 in total. So for tomorrow, there's going to be the waxing crescent moon. Then on Tuesday, we have the first quarter moon. Wednesday, the waxing gibbous. Thursday, it's going to be a full moon. And then there's also like the waning gibbous. Saturday is third quarter. We have the waning crescent and the new moon again. And basically the cycle or the phase repeats itself. Now, if you're not a huge fan of all of these cycles, you can go into the options menu, and underneath game options, you can hit the environment tab, and there you can actually select your lunar cycle. So if you want to do every 2 days, 4 days, 8 days, 16, 24, that's up to you. Or you could actually set a permanent phase, so any of the 8 phases are at your disposal. So if I wanted to turn today into a full moon, I could go ahead and do that. Or if I wanted to, I could disable lunar effects altogether. So I'm going to apply those changes. My guess is that it would take effect right away, but it may not. Probably because we're still in the new moon phase, which is completely fine with me. There's still plenty to show you. In fact, we're going to check out that brand new telescope. It's super easy to find. It's right next to the old observatory. And what my hope is, y'all, is that they are going to like carry this like downsizing, I wouldn't even call it a trend, but I hope they carry this over to like the larger items, such as what else, the cupcake factory thing. It's the primary reason why a lot of us probably don't even use it, is because it's so big. So I'm really excited that they finally decided to, size down some of those really gigantic items. So here we are with the back pocket observatory. I'll go ahead and read off the description, but this bad boy is 750 simoleons. It does come in a few different swatches. So you've got like a blue, yellow, orange. This kind of looks like an army green color, like kind of like a galaxy swatch too, white, black, and then another variation of black. I really like its like sleek profile. It looks so freaking cute. So the description reads, your backyard can finally breathe a sigh of relief as you observe the skies in style. style. We've made sure that you can even stow this telescope in your back pocket so you can spot the stars from anywhere outdoors. Sure, the opportunities for debauchery might be slightly limited since you hopefully can't fit inside, but I think one astronomical love shack is enough. So you'll also build logic skill. Basically, it is going to behave exactly like the observatory. The only thing, and I mean, well, the only thing that you won't be able to do is find prints. So I actually, I'm going to show you what those prints look like in just a second. But one of the things that you can do with the observatory is you can moon gaze. I do believe you can do the same thing with the telescope. I'm not sure what the differences are between moon gazing and stargazing. Again, to my knowledge, you can only get those big, beautiful prints from the observatory since there really isn't anywhere to print those from the telescope. Of course, it's raining. Okay, like, I mean, I don't have UI cheats in because it doesn't work right now, and I think something else might be broken. I'm not sure because it's kind of acting weird, but this is the animation for the telescope. It literally looks exactly how you would imagine it, and you are obviously building your logic skill while you're at it. And so do keep in mind, you have to be very, very, very careful when you're using these items because Boston just noticed a meteor is heading right for him. He should seek shelter and quickly. So yes, there is a brand new death that is called the meteor or meteorite death. I don't know if you're gonna see the meteor when you get that notification, and I'm also really, really curious to see what would happen if Boston didn't go inside. So let me just peep and see if there's any new moodlets. I'm not really sure if there is, so I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of like hover over them. But I think maybe if you like don't adhere to the warning, there is a chance that you could indeed get hit by that meteor. And there we go. Oh my God. Okay, so I think we just indeed experienced the death by meteorite. Oh my God, Boston, he just got blasted. Oh, Billy. Houston, we have a problem. Boston Tilly is about to die from being struck by a meteorite. Well, I guess that answers my question. If you don't listen to the warning, you will indeed be imploded on by a meteorite. Let me just say that happened so fast that I barely even got to see it. I'm not gonna lie, I feel really bad for Boston right now. Like, he totally sacrificed himself, and oh my gosh, there's a huge indentation left by the meteorite. I want to make sure that I get a picture of this because it's kind of dramatic. It's also like really, really sad, like super sad. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I basically think like the game would be essentially over at this point because, you know, he's the only sim in the house. I am kind of curious though if you would be able to like collect that meteorite and do something with it. Then maybe I'll let you guys discover that part. So we are going to have a Grim collect his ashes, and eventually all of like the debris and stuff does go away. But I do believe like this impression, like previous Sims games, will stay. And again, like that meteorite would be a collectible. I think there's like, is there a way that I can? No, I can't even click on any of these freaking Sims to be able to like put somebody in the household. But anyways, it says game over, or is it? The last sim in this household has died, but you can create more sims and choose an existing household to play in or move another household in from the gallery. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna save and manage worlds. I'm gonna create a sim to essentially move into this lot so we can check out the meteor. And just like a cat, Boston has 9 lives. So let me show you guys what happened over here at the crash site. So originally I thought for some reason there was like a new tombstone, but really in reality what I think it was is there's a new ghost type. But because obviously Boston wasn't friends with his former self, we aren't able to see that. However, when it comes to this meteor, you are able to move it around however you wish, but wherever you move it, once you go back into live mode, that crash site will indeed follow. There isn't really anything that you can do with it. I think at night it does have like a little luminosity. Also, it's not worth anything, so it's just a glorified hood ornament at this point. And again, kind of like wherever you want to put it, it's gonna have that really annoying crash site undershadow sometimes. Right now it doesn't, but earlier it did. It's really weird. So anyways, that's really interesting. So I wanted to show you guys the prints, right? So in order to obtain these prints, you do need to moon gaze through the observatory. I've already mentioned that, but I'm gonna mention it one more time. Now, because it is so late into the morning, I'm not really expecting Boston to find any prints organically at this point, but what I can do if you're interested is I can actually take you guys into debug, and that's where you will find them there. So all I need to do is just type in moon. If you do want to be surprised, maybe just skip through the video because I am going to be showing these off, and obviously it's kind of fun to like find them on your own. But here we have the time-lapse moon, which I thought was really pretty. We have the moon in satellite print, the moon's meteor, which is kind of cool. There's also the enchanted moon of words I can't pronounce, the golden moon, and then we have the flaming moon, the moon's flare, and I do believe this is Sixum's moon right here, and the last one, if I'm not mistaken, is Sixum from the moon. So look at all of those beautiful, gorgeous prints. I think they are beautiful. They are worth, like, I think various amounts, just depending on like the rarity and stuff. So yeah, just something you might want to check out, you know, if you get a chance. But another thing I wanted to share with you, see, there it is, it's back. Sometimes it disappears, sometimes it comes back. I kind of wish there was a way to like differentiate the crash site for the meteorite, because I kind of want to put one of those in like my, you know, like legacy house. I don't know, I can't wait to play around with this for my legacy, because they're like super into space. Well, I mean, not yet, but they will be. So here we have the Wolf's Bane. So again, this is a new collectible that came with the base game update. You will find Wolf's Bane organically in Forgotten Hollow, which is a vampire world, and you'll also find it in Moonlight Falls. If you don't own any of those packs, you can go into debug, you just type in wolf, and there you can find Wolf's Bane and Wolf's Bane seeds. So this is what Wolf's Bane looks like on its own. It's this really, really pretty kind of like purpley flower. It almost resembles, I think, I don't know what these are called, like bluebells or something. And the seeds, if I go back into the search menu, they look a little something like this. So for some reason they have like a garlic pouch, which I thought was a little strange. But if you open them, basically you'll be met with wolfsbane. This flower is nothing special in its raw form. When used as an ingredient in food and drink, it will affect the nocturnally oriented. So I'm not gonna be able to play with that too much. Is there a way that I can like cheat this plant? I don't think so. Maybe I could cheat it through testing cheats. I mean, it's worth a shot, but I'm not like expecting it to work. So we could do growth stage, we can do blossoming. So yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. And then I'm sure it's gonna have like these little pretty purple flowers all over the place. But yeah, that's just like a, you know, a quick little I guess showcase of the wolf's bane plant and how you can achieve it if you don't have those worlds. So another thing that I wanted to share with you guys is the two brand new terrain plants. So, or two, I really called those plants. I meant paint. I didn't realize how unfamiliar I was with the terrain paints until now. These two new ones were extremely hard for me to find. The first one is called Pine Duff and it looks like this. The second one is Rough River Rock, and this is what it looks like up close and personal. There's a lot of different ways that you can use these, so I'm kind of glad that they added them into the base game. Now we're gonna move on to the Brickery Elite. Basically the bricks that match the base game bricks, but with caution tape or paint at the bottom of it. Basically, what they do is they complement this version of the base game Brickery Elite. I cannot say that word for the life of me. But yeah, basically it's the same thing, the same brick. It just has caution tape at the end of it, which I don't know what you could use this for, but y'all are a lot more creative than I am, so I'm sure you guys can figure it out. So I got a couple other things I wanted to share with you before I wrap up this video. First and foremost, I was able to retrieve Boston's ghost. I had a moment there, a little stammer if you will, and this is what the ghost looks like of a sim that dies by a meteorite. So in his chest, he has like a tumbling meteor, which I found really interesting. I wanted to show you guys what the moon looked like in the first quarter moon phase, but unfortunately, I saw it for like a split little second and then it disappeared. I don't know if it's because it's cloudy or what, but I've had a really hard time seeing the moon period ever since this freaking update. But also, it may be helpful to know that yes, if you do indeed change your like permanent moon phase or whatever, it won't take effect until the next day. So at least I can give you that little tidbit of information. But y'all, I have no idea where the hell the moon even went. Before I would see all the time, and now I'm having trouble finding it. But anyways, that pretty much sums this update. Lots and lots and lots of good things to play around with in the base game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, you know what to do, but don't forget to go ahead and comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below where the sun doesn't shine, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.